everybody, Moo here. Of course, up next is going to be Fix-It Felix, and 5 to 4 in the coin booster are enabled for him as always. But for him, and I almost never do this, in fact, there's only a handful of other Tsum Tsum I've ever recommended this. I think the bubble booster is almost mandatory for him. Now, his ability looks very straightforward, very simple, but in fact, it's probably one of the most complicated in the game because what he requires of you is all the skills, all the nuances, all the tricks, everything you've learned. You have to play him with all of those in mind all at once, and the better you are at all of them, the easier it is to master him. So what does he do? Once you tap his ability, he gives you 4 hammers at SL6. There is no time restriction on when you use those hammers, but you will be making medium-sized bubbles, which means a 5 chain is now going to count as a 10 chain, a 6 chain, 12 chain, and a 7 chain is going to count as a 14 chain. So those 3 chain lengths are the ones you want to target because those are the ones that are going to give you time bubbles most frequently. So now you're starting to kind of get a hang of where I'm going with the bubble booster item, because now a 4 chain can get you a time bubble as well. So that's huge because especially with the 5 to 4 booster enabled, 4 chains are going to be readily available to you. So very, very strong, but not easy to play and certainly not easy to master because, like I said, there's so many things you have to keep track of. So you cannot even overlap his ability. What that means is if you still have hammers outstanding from the last time you used the skill, you cannot recharge his ability. You have to use all of the hammers he gave you from the initial skill before you can launch the following skill. So there's certainly certain types of bottlenecks with him. The size of the bubbles are a little bit difficult to work with because they take up a lot of room, and if you're on Android, they create even larger gaps on your screen. You have to make sure you're keeping track of fever time. You have to make sure that when you're initiating his ability, you're looking through the fog of war so you can kind of start seeing where you can start making those precise length chains. You have to kind of set up Tsum Tsum so they fall, so that you have the highest probability of getting said chains, so on and so forth. Of course, the fever time thing, if you're close to exiting fever time, you have no explosion to rely upon from his ability to get you back there instantly. You have to manage those magic bubbles to make sure you maximize your time, and very, very fun to play as a result because he's super hard to master in my opinion. I think that makes him really fun to play. That being said, since I'm not using the bubble booster or any of the other boosters, just a 5 to 4 in the coin booster, as mentioned, the coin output is going to be lackluster, and actually just the game in general was a little bit lackluster. I think to really get the full effect of what this guy can do, you're going to need to use all the boosters, and then you can probably go for some high score attempts. I think as far as high score is concerned, he's certainly on par with Surprise Elsa because they have about an equal amount of chance of generating time bubbles per skill use. He's probably a little better actually. So very, very good. And I might actually go for a high score attempt with him because this is just a preview video and we're missing a lot of the elements, aka the boosters, to really get a feel for the upper limits of what he can do. But anyways, enjoy the preview. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, anything like that in the comment section below. And as always, thank you so much for your likes, your subs, and your viewership. I'll see you guys next time. Pretty cool Tsum Tsum, I have to say. See you guys later.